You want to take like our picture too while we're standing?
These are a bunch of old people standing at the same gate.
There's one good
Trying to
looking
get a
older
job
man.
with that
There
tree
you go, son.
right now.
Do you have audio on there too?
I'm pretty sure.
Yeah.
We are now audioing you the whole entire time.
Residents?
Yes.
Okay.
We need to produce the microchip out of our skin.
It's the honor
Here,
policy.
you have a scanner?
We know our address, so that's helpful.
It's the honor policy.
People have been using Barton Springs recreationally for decades, but because of Austin's recent growth, it has made it difficult to keep Barton Springs clean. We wanted to know more about how people are affecting the water quality and wildlife of Barton Springs. To find out more about our question, we walked through the splash exhibit. This exhibit has everything there is to know about Barton Springs. This helped us have more background information about our question.
How have people affected Barton Springs water quality?
What is your definition of water quality?
My definition of water quality. You can put it in your mouth. Then it's a good quality water, I think. You can brush your teeth with, you can swallow it, and you don't get sick of it. That's water quality. No?
Yeah, I would say how safe it is to drink.
Lack of pollutants.
Lack of food.
Water quality is the chemical, physical, and biological characteristics of water. Since the 1980s, Barton Springs has had to close down multiple times due to dangerous levels of E. coli bacteria. High levels of E. coli were introduced to the pool by humans. Large amounts of E. coli present in Barton Springs lower the water quality because it can cause human illness. Also, urbanization of Austin has contributed to increased contaminated runoff that flows into Barton Springs. This runoff contains sewage, feces, and oil that pollute the water, which in turn lowers the water quality. Fortunately, barriers that trap this runoff are being added to Barton Springs soon. Another factor that affects water quality is invasive plants. Invasive species such as hydrilla and giant salvinia were brought in by people through aquarium trade. These plants, along with algae blooms from runoff, raise the water temperature and pH levels of Barton Springs.
How have people affected the Barton Springs wildlife? Do you know that the Barton Springs salamander is endangered and it only lives here in Austin?
Yes.
I did not know that.
I knew that. I saw the sign.
No, I didn't know that. They are? Oh, okay.
The Barton Springs salamander, among others, only lives in Barton Springs and is threatened by us. Urban growth and increased construction has caused sediment runoff into the springs. The sediment clogs up the gills of the salamander and other wildlife. Though they block sediment with black cloth around construction sites, sediment still gets through. Runoff from sewage and farms also gets in the springs. Pesticides from that cause algae blooms. Algae blooms lie on the surface of the water and block sunlight and oxygen from marine life. Scientists have been working with the animals in hopes that we can find a solution to this issue. But it looks as though it's not the animals that need to change.
In conclusion, we answered our question, how have people affected the water quality and wildlife of Barton Springs comprehensively? Throughout our time at Barton Springs, we explored the splash exhibit and the springs itself. We learned while creating our documentary that the answer to our question was on the outside of Barton Springs and not inside. The people of Austin are affecting the springs, not by swimming in it, but by their sewage, runoff, and pesticides. We must protect Barton Springs, the soul of Austin.